What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about ONDO today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, my friends. Let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about this here. So, ONDO Finance, yeah, sitting at about $1.32. What is that? $1.35 here on this Saturday. We have about 18 hours and 51 minutes left, and you have done absolutely nothing with yourself since basically since the middle of January. So moving sideways for essentially a month, day after day after day. I'm aware there's been some big things that have happened for ONDO recently, over this past month too. From a fundamental standpoint, there's a lot of big media pieces coming out. I'm not really going to talk about that too much. I'm aware that everybody is probably well aware of what's going on with ONDO. I want to keep it strictly to the price action here and just look at what we're doing, right? What we've done while we've consolidated and had all this good news come out, quote unquote good news, we have had a double bottom, a relative double bottom. Most of the volume that came in, by the way, happened to be at this low here, at this peak here. That tells me that likely we're going to not break out to the downside. We likely will break out to the upside, right? If you look at this consolidation phase and you see just like the top of it versus, if I could draw lines here, let's just do this. The top of it here versus the bottom of it here, right? We kind of refine this better. Which one seems like you're repulsed by, and which one seems like you're attracted to it, right? It seems like you're attracted to the upside. You're grinding it out here, so you're going to likely break, I would think, to the upside. With that, from a high to a low here, and I'm going to use this low, not the fake out low. We're going to call that a fake out. So high to low here, I would think that your next move would at a minimum take you to 258. Or likely higher to 326. You could even go higher than that still, right? A lot of cryptos in this next phase up, I do anticipate will see prices above their 1618s relative to the moves up they had in November, December, to the moves down they had in January, right? I do assume that most cryptos will. So 326 is a nice goal to keep in mind for ONDO, but I think that there's nothing wrong with considering 392 to $6.44 by the end of this move, which I think will happen. I think we'll begin this move sometime soon, probably over the next week, if not the week after that. Like it would have to be, I would think, within the next 2 weeks that we probably do see ONDO beginning to see prices again above $2, if not at least like above like $1.80, something that is reminiscent of a move up, right? That's going to happen. We're going to see that start in the next week or two. Will we be up here in the next week or two? No. I think we'll be up there in the next 3 to 6 weeks, sometime likely by the end of March. We could be in this zone as early as the end of February, but I think this move will come to full maturity once we are more in March. Okay, probably the middle of March, if not the beginning of March. About a month away is what I'm thinking from this zone here. If I had to give a target that I would assume we hit the most, just based off of looking at this, I would probably lean for $5. It's a nice psychological area of resistance. It's in between. It's kind of in the middle of this expected zone between the 1886 and the 2272. I like that. So let's run with $5. I'm going to put a line here at the 2618, a line here at the 2272, and a line here at the 1886. We're going to delete this. And just remember that is our expected fib area, just based off of this recent consolidation phase we've had. Okay, now we'll zoom out. We'll look at this 3-day time frame. So ONDO, with a very bullish beginning, right? All the VCs and all the marketing was just there to pump it up. It was beautiful, and then it went on this multi-month, just horrendous move to the downside. How much did it drop, I wonder? 66. That's actually that's pretty cool. That's not that bad. That's a very tame drop. For a coin that just ripped that much, I gotta say, for crypto guys, that's very impressive actually. From a high, did I delete it? I did not delete these lines. Okay, so from a high to a low of June 2024 to the low in August of 2024, the high to the low of this move overall, your primary zone is the 1272 to the 1618. Okay. Oftentimes, when you find resistance at the 1272, you'll find support at the 786 or even as low as the 618, which you did. You found support at the 618. Oftentimes, I looked for this area in this kind of situation, but you went a little bit lower. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Whenever you move higher, the next target technically is the minimum target would be your next fib. I don't think you spent all this time consolidating just to hit your minimum target, so then at least you'd hit the 1618. I also don't think that you're going to stop there. I personally don't think that you spent all this time consolidating just to stop at the top of your primary target zone. But you could. You're at $1.35 right now. I suppose $2.90 should be a good minimum target. But the reason why I've brought this part up this way is because I want to say that 290 is your golden ratio. It's your golden extension. It's the top end of this primary zone. When and if you get above there, the next area to stop at is the 1886, which happens to line up very well with the 1886 of this high to low that we measured here. You can see the 1886 here. Why is it actually different? Wasn't it supposed to be lower? Did I have it measured wrong the first time? Because that white line is supposed to be the 1886 there. But I'm measuring it from the high. Maybe I had it on the wrong high. I might have had it on the week after, not the week of. Okay, so these targets are all going to be off then. Why is it different? Why are the white lines not on these now though? That doesn't make any sense. But this one, did I get it from a different... Oh, it's because I'm taking it from the low, the wrong low. I'm sorry. That was the fake out low. There we go. High to low. Okay, so the 18... Okay, perfect. There we go. We don't have to change it. 1886 right there, in line with this 1886 as well. Your 2272 here doesn't line up with that 2272, but that's okay. The 2618 here lining up very well. Or it's the same line. Okay, so sorry. I got a little confused there. I'm going to bring it back, okay? Just seeing a little bit of congruence with the minimum targets here is all that I really care about. The minimum target, we're getting agreements there between two different fib levels, okay, from a sensible kind of perspective of expectations. I think 391, I think prices just below $4 are what we should expect to see from ONDO at a minimum by the end of this move, which would likely be, again, if not the end of February, likely sometime in the middle of March. Could be the end of March. Depends on when we start getting going. If we get above $4, we likely will go to around $5, if not as high as $6.44. Not $64. $6.44. You're at $1.38 now. And if I had to be as honest as I possibly can be, my genuine expectation would be that you see something of about a 3x. A 3x within the next 3 to 6 weeks at a minimum. I personally would expect that you see something around here, this middle line. I think you do see something that's closer to about a 3.7x, around $5 there. And I accept that you could see something as high as a near 5x, but a 4.8x there at about $6.50, $6.40, somewhere in that zone. I accept that as a possible outcome. It could happen. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying more so if I had to, that's the highest outcome would be about $6.40 to $6.50. The lowest outcome would be about $3.90 to $4, and the likely outcome is something around $5. That's my expectation at this moment. Okay, we look at the 3-day time frame and the RSI. You are consolidating here around the just below the 50 here. You did the same thing here last time before you moved up, and you saw this immaculate move. If we were to see something that was even comparable to this from a low to a high, let's just see what that would do. That puts us all the way up at about 366, right? So again, agreeing with that minimum area of just below $4 being a good target. So, and I personally do think, I don't know about you guys, to tell me if I'm wrong here, but I think this move, while that was nice, I do suspect that this move will be bigger. I think it will be bigger. This out of this whole kind of running flat that you had right here, I think this was a running flat phase. This would be what you call an impulse phase. So you're moving up one consolidation phase for your second phase. Your third wave would be the next phase up. Oftentimes, okay, 1, 2, 3, your third leg is oftentimes bigger than your first leg. So if it's going to be bigger, if by it I mean the next wave up, it's going to be bigger than this wave, then it would make sense that you probably don't stop around $4. You probably do move higher, right? And when I say bigger, I don't mean just a little bit bigger. Likely the third wave is oftentimes the biggest. I'm very much under the impression that you move to $5, around $5. You're at $1.34 now. If I could talk. You're at $1.34 now. $5 probably within the next 6 weeks, if I had to be completely safe to assume. I think by the middle of March, maybe even just over, like maybe the 16th of March or something like that, you will see those prices come into fruition. I suspect we will start to move up. We'll begin to move up starting next week, if not the week after, certainly by the end of this month. And I would even expect that we see higher highs relative to this high, prices above $2 by the end of this month at least. Certainly with the full maturity of the move coming in March is what I would expect. So I got nothing else for you guys. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. The charts look good, the fundamentals are solid. This thing's about to rip. Take it easy. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.